Hey,
Hey,
what's going on? How are you?
Good, how are
Good.
you?
We're happy you answered because Aunt really wanted a girl on the show, and she's the first girl, so I mean.
Yeah.
What's this? I told you I would be the first girl. I don't have a problem doing it.
We starting the show?
Oh, what? That's not even a woman's wig. That's my Joker costume. Take that off.
You look like Beetlejuice's uncle.
No idea.
You're supposed to make up words to this?
Mind over movies. Mind over movies.
One more time. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2. We made it to episode 2 of Mind Over Movies. I'm Anthony. Today's guest, I have Julie and Joe. I can't really switch. I can say I have Julie here on this side and Joe here on this side.
Yes.
But I have Julie and Joe here. We're going to talk about some superhero films and whatnot. But first of all, guys, how's it going today?
Great, I'm having a great day.
Excellent day. Now, something we all saw yesterday, before we get into the bulk of the show, I want to mention this. We all saw Gotham yesterday. What'd you guys think of Gotham? Julie, I'll start with you.
Okay, I loved it. I thought that the acting was very good. If everything felt very realistic, and the Penguin was awesome. So yeah, I'm really excited for the rest of it.
It looks like it's gonna be a good show. Joe, what do you think? You've
Well,
been waiting for this for a while.
Yeah, I
so-
mean the thing about Gotham is like Gordon, when he starts in the comic book, in the canon comic book, he starts when Batman is like his first night.
right.
So I guess they're using a poetic license or whatever. So I mean it was good for what it was. The actor was good. Your guy was
Ben McKenzie from
Ben
the OC.
McKenzie. He was good.
Represent.
So hot.
Ryan Atwood.
He was good. The actor who played Penguin was really good.
Yeah.
I didn't like some of the corny stuff that they were forcing on you, like the Penguin name calling and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
a big fan of that stuff.
I like.
but-
I was reading on IndieWire an article that they're making the Alfred more mean.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I didn't.
more
Yeah, I
mean.
didn't like the way
don't
Alfred
like
was
that?
portrayed at all. No, I
No?
didn't like it. No, I didn't like the way.
It seems like that they're going to make him as a more mean, strict character rather than Alfred be more forgiving.
He shouldn't be like that kind of character. He's more of a
Did
paternal.
Did anybody
figure.
think Jada Pinkett Smith was a weird
I
casting
didn't even
choice?
know that was Jada Pinkett Smith.
I thought
yeah.
it
I
was
didn't know who
such
that
a
was.
weird
Well,
casting choice.
They just chose to create that character for what reason I don't know. But
Right.
I mean, I guess because they have to. I guess there was no characters they could say Penguin worked for. You know.
Right.
So I mean.
yeah.
All right, so week 2 here. A couple of things. We're working out the kinks every week. All right, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get the best show that we can every week. Working out new kinks. Today's new addition is our old man Ant Cam over there. How you doing? How you doing, old man Ant?
I just want to say that the young lady you brought on has a beautiful radio voice.
Oh,
Stop.
why?
Don't be
Beautiful
creepy.
radio
Don't
voice.
be creepy on here. Don't be creepy. All right. So also something new today that we're launching right now, and I'll do it for the first one. Instagram, we're on Mind Over Movies. Just go to Instagram, search Mind Over Movies. I'll upload our first picture right now. We'll do a selfie right here. Get in here, guys. Get in. Selfie. We'll do it this way. All right, good. So we'll put that up, and that'll be our Instagram, Mind Over Movies. Let's jump into film. We got a lot of superhero films to talk about today. We're gonna also be talking with West Coast Joe today on our West Coast feed. This weekend in the box office, there were 3 films that came out. The Maze Runner, which was one of those kind of fantasy.
Which they already
Young
scheduled the
adults.
sequel.
That's right. They already scheduled the sequel to. That took in the most in the box office, around $35 million. The second film was A Walk Among the Tombstones. That's that Liam Neeson Taken-esque movie. That also
I will find you.
Kicking ass as
it's one
usual.
of those. That took in $12.7 million. And then a film that me and Joe got to see, which I liked a lot. It's called This Is Where I Leave
Very
You.
good, yeah.
That took in $11 million. So This Is Where I Leave You is a family dysfunction movie. I'm a sucker for those movies. And I believe the director was Sean Levy, who did Crazy Stupid Love, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if it had that
Yes.
vibe to it.
Yeah, it has
Definitely has
that
that vibe
very
to it.
I love that. Whenever a director can nail that family dysfunction, and it usually is the best when it's like a family member had died and they have to come together. And I just like this film. I like it. It was a lot of comedic moments. It was drama mixed with comedy in a very good fashion. So I enjoyed it. I recommend it for you guys. Coming up this week is The Box Trolls. I will not be seeing that movie.
Me
But
either.
I will be seeing the new Denzel flick, The Equalizer. This film
Yeah.
looks really, really good. Chloe Grace, is it Moretz or Mortez?
Moretz.
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 Oh, there she is. There. I think
Yeah.
she's getting older by
I
the
love
day.
her.
She's
man.
like still 17 though, so don't
She's
say anything
beautiful.
weird.
I don't care.
No, she's got to be older than that now.
I don't care.
She was born in 1997.
Yeah,
Holy
she's
moly.
not. She's.
I don't care.
So what is
She's
she?
17.
She's
years old.
so don't say anything.
She could be
about
my
her.
child.
She's wait. Is that legal?
No.
Some
Oh.
No,
states,
17
it's
is
consent.
legal in Ask Old
Okay.
Man and
Do you know-
17 is
do you
legal.
know-
Where is it? Where?
Of
You know
course
that-
he knows.
That Chloe Grace Moretz is literally half of your age.
Yeah, I can be her father.
That's real shit.
You might be.
You never know.
All right, so we talked about This Is Where I Leave You. Now let's get into some superhero films because that's really what's going to take up the bulk of our show today. That's why I brought you guys on. I want to start with a pretty jolting number from 1989, which I'm dating back to the first Batman. From 1989 to 2004, 15-year span, there were 16 superhero movies from either Marvel or DC. 16 altogether. Some of those were Blade. The first Spider-Man
Fox
was in there.
Studios and
Yeah, all that. These are just strictly Marvel movies and DC movies. From 2005 to 2020, which will be another 15-year span, we're looking not at doubling that, not at tripling that, but quadruple that. 60-plus movies will have been released or are released from 2005 to 2020. That's an insane, insane number. Why, Joe? Why are we releasing all
I
these
mean,
superhero
the
movies?
established fan bases already, and it's just like money, just money makers.
Yeah.
You're not gonna find a superhero movie that's not going to make money.
Right.
Even if it could be terrible, it's still going to make money.
I can't think of one recently that hasn't done pretty well. I mean, it seems like all these movies
in the
make
box
money.
office, at least. So critically, some of them don't do as well, but still, I mean, they
What
kill it.
what are some films that you guys haven't liked over the some superhero films that you haven't liked over the past few years?
The new Superman.
The new Superman was so you didn't like Man of Steel? You're saying the new one?
Yeah.
The new one. That's
Yeah.
surprising. That was kind of an on the fence one.
It was okay. I mean, it wasn't like, nothing to write home
Is that
about,
what they
but-
were going for? They were going for the Nolan vibe, and it didn't succeed.
Yeah, I thought they were trying to make it too dark, and
Right.
it was just overkill.
The
like,
problem is that
it's-
Superman. You can do that with the Dark Knight series because Batman is a I guess you could call a real superhero. He's a human. Superman and his villains tend to not be human, except when you go to Lex Luthor, which they're going to be doing on the next one. But Superman's not human, so you have to go out of worldly, and you can't really make it dramatic. It's really hard to make that kind of dark movie. Even though it had a good cast, it was too science fiction, too alien-esque for me, and that's why I think it failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are science fiction superhero movies that succeed. Like look at Guardians of the Galaxy. They could have done something better than.
Absolutely.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like it's really not an excuse. I mean, Green Lantern also epically failed. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
that was terrible, and that was also an alien science fiction superhero movie. But
I
don't know,
thought I
maybe
think that was
just-
casting too, though. That kind of drove Green
Yeah.
Lantern.
Yeah.
It seems like we had a pretty good year for superhero films. At least Guardians of the Galaxy was great. Days of Future Past was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Captain America 2 was good. And the last film, which was I really didn't like it that much, was Amazing Spider-Man 2. That was the other film that came out in 2014. If we look ahead and we go to 2015, we'll have Avengers 2. Fantastic Four, the reboot of that.
Deadpool.
And
The
I'm
Phase
sorry,
3.
Deadpool also will be coming out.
not in 2015.
2016.
Yeah, don't you see?
We're talking 2015.
Well,
We're in a different year.
but I mean, I think that's going to be terrible as well as. Don't shake your head.
What's going to be terrible?
Well, because the casting, because look at Green Lantern was horrible.
Can you tell me the last superhero movie you saw in the theaters?
That would be Superman 1980.
Goodness.
I wasn't even a thought yet.
Nobody was a
whatever,
thought
it was whatever the first Superman was. I was
you
in.
saw
I was in.
Superman in 1983.
Yeah.
Is that the
it was.
one?
It was. It had to have been.
Did you see the Marlon Brando one? Is that the one you're talking about?
Listen, all I remember was getting dragged into the movie theater and seeing The Man of Steel.
Wow, that's
know.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Reeves.
2015, we'll see Ant-Man, Fantastic Four, and Avengers
Ant-Man.
2. 2016 is going to be a packed year. Batman vs Superman, Captain America 3, X-Men Apocalypse, and then there's a Spider-Man Sinister 6 movie
Doctor
and
Strange.
2 untitled
Doctor
Marvel
Strange.
and Doctor Strange.
That's Marvel.
That's the Marvel
and
movie.
DC Shazam.
Okay, so those are the
When
release
this was,
movies.
when
I
this
think.
was when this,
Jeez.
this schedule was printed, you can post a link for the schedule.
Yeah, I'll have
Post-
that schedule right there.
There's a
That's
big,
gonna
there's a
come
big
up on the
Marvel
screen.
DC schedule. We're gonna post a link, but when this link happened, the dates for Shazam and Doctor Strange were announced yet. So
Right.
it says untitled films, but
So yeah, I mean that's a jam-packed 2016. It only keeps going after there. Just
Money,
a lot of
money,
sequels.
money.
Money. That's all these. That's really has to be what your thought process is. It's not. You can't even say maybe the director has in mind. Let me make a good film here, but at the end of the day, they're throwing $200 million at you, and you're expected to bring in $1 billion basically, like Guardians has done, like Amazing Spider-Man has done, like these films have done over the past 15 years. So before we get to West Coast Joe, he's going to talk to us about his favorite or some of his favorite sequels to to superhero movies. Before we get to him about those, what's some of your favorite sequels that have beaten out the original? Julie.
I'm going to say I really enjoyed Thor 2.
Thor 2.
Yeah.
Good film. I think that one did hit its mark. What about you, Joe?
I mean, one of my favorites has to be Dark Knight. Dark Knight's one of my favorite movies ever. So I mean, Batman Begins is like A, and Dark Knight's like A+.
I'm sorry. Old man
So,
Ant wants to say something. Go ahead.
What
What was your favorite sequel?
Superman 2.
The 1980.
The
1984.
one or whatever it was. Oh my goodness. All right. So we're going to take a break. Even though he's sitting here, we still have Trailer Joe. He needs to do his job. So let's go see what Trailer Joe's got for us.
Woohoo.
What's up, movie ass clowns? You're back again, aren't you? Well, I got 2 more trailers for you. Big Eyes, the new Tim Burton flick, and also Horrible Bosses 2. Jason Sudeikis and Jason Bateman and Charlie Day are back at it again. Back to you, Ant.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Special thanks to Trailer Joe. Now we have West Coast Joe here with us. Joe, how's it going in LA today?
Going good. It's going good, guys.
Technically, you're a blast from the past right now. You understand that, right? Because we have a 3-hour difference here in New York. So technically, you're 3 hours behind us.
I am 3 hours behind.
So I can tell you what happens.
How is it in the future?
It's actually fantastic. It's really wonderful. Joe, I want to talk to you about some superhero films. We were just talking about our favorite sequels. Joe mentioned The Dark Knight, which is definitely up there. Julie enjoys
Thor
2. And we talked a little bit before the show. What's your favorite sequel to a superhero film?
It's Hellboy 2: The Golden Army.
Hellboy
Absolutely.
2, solid film. Very, very solid movie. Not in the DC or Marvel universes, right? Different.
No,
No, it's different
I'm
completely.
pretty sure Hellboy's out of Dark Horse Comics.
Dark Horse Comics, yep.
Why Hellboy 2, Joe? Why is it better than the original?
Why is it better? Well, the original one, it's not that it's a bad movie. It's just okay.
Right.
And there's nothing I hate more than something that's just okay. I either want to love it or hate it. I don't want to walk out with this mediocre opinion of something.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I saw Hellboy 2, what's really cool about it is that you can watch it completely on its own as a standalone film. It doesn't play as a sequel. It kind of plays as though Del Toro was like, I kind of screwed up a little bit on that first one. Let me be a little bit more Del Toro-ish with this one. Let me have some more freedom. And it's beautiful.
That's going to be more and more important as we get to these continuous sequels of films over the next 5 years. Being able to detach yourself from the originals is going to be more and more important for the director to do, so that if my little kid, who, let's say I get married in the next year and have a 4-year-old son.
You're right.
When I go see a film in 2020, what's supposed to be coming out in 2020?
Let's see. We have a possibly Avengers 4.
Possibly Avengers 4. I don't. What if I can't sit through Avengers 1, 2, and 3 with the kid? I need him to see just Avengers 4.
That's
you want to
actually
be able
2019
to detach from the originals, right? I would think so. You want to be able to not need the ones that came before it to really tell the story. You want to make the film drive on its own.
Yeah, because your kid's not going to understand the first 3.
So
At
Hellboy 2 is
4.
one of your favorites. What'd you think? You said you enjoyed the movies last week that came out, X-Men, First Class, the superhero movies this year. What do you think about the slew of films coming up these coming 5 years? All of these announcements of DC and Marvel.
I mean, it's all just like a we'll see. I mean, Marvel has not let me down since Iron Man in 2008.
True.
So I have a lot of high hopes for what's going on.
Right.
No casting decisions may, upset me. All the fanboys out there like to get up in a lather about, oh, this person should be that and this person should be this. I'm like, hey, everybody who's been casted so far is exceptionally talented.
I agree
in anything they've done before. They've all proven themselves more than enough times. Same thing with the directors.
Yeah.
I have a lot of high hopes. I think it's going to be a really cool 5 years we have ahead of us.
There's nothing really to worry about with Marvel, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
they're
like
gonna
it's like good hands, you
yeah,
know. I
they're
mean,
gonna throw hundreds of millions of dollars. They're owned by Disney now.
now DC,
so.
on the other hand, it's a different story.
All right, Joe. So you said over the weekend you got to see a film that I think a lot of people are interested in seeing. The new Kevin Smith film, Tusk. How was it?
Oh, hashtag walrus yes
Oh,
to everyone
walrus
out
yes.
there. Go and see Tusk. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say everyone. This film is not for everyone.
Right.
It is in no way for everyone.
Is it as graphic as I'm believing it to be? It seems like it's going to be very graphic and a little bit gory as he makes this transformation. Am I right to say that?
It's more like it's very human centipede in the way your mind kind of has to create it. Like he doesn't explicitly show like the surgery or the body horror. It's more like, oh, you put that in your mind for yourself. But I'd say for the average moviegoer, it's a little bit more than what a normal person can handle.
Excellent. So Tusk, you say hashtag walrus yes. People go out and see this new
Absolutely.
Kevin Smith film. I'm glad he's still making movies. I've always enjoyed Kevin
Love Kevin
Smith movies.
great.
I got to meet him once. I'll show that picture here so you
Oh,
can all
cool.
get jealous. Thank you, Joe, for coming in again and giving some
Absolutely.
thoughts on some superhero films.
Thanks
and
for having
and
me.
go see Tusk. Joe's 2 for 2. We had Old Man Ant. He went to go see Snowpiercer last week. He loved it. So you're 2 for 2 so far. We hope with Tusk. Thank you very much, Joe. We'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely, guys. Have a great week.
Okay, I'm gonna explain a film plot badly that you could find on Netflix. Here goes. A taxi cab driver has to save the world with an orange-haired girl, and he meets a blue alien that sings opera. Look it up.
Welcome back. Special thank you to West Coast Joe for coming in, our West Coast. Do you want to say something, Ant? Is that what you want?
I'm just
He just winked at
So
me.
creepy.
That was very creepy. Mind Over Movies on Instagram. Make sure you go and follow us there. So that's our superhero talk for this episode. I'm sure we're going to be talking about it down the road. We're going to be talking about more superhero films as we get closer to the next ones that are coming out in the summer. Let's wrap up with some October releases. Very, very exciting October. The films to start it off I feel are going to be great. They're two that I've been waiting for. The first one is technically the prequel to The Conjuring,
Yes.
Annabelle,
Yes.
produced by James Wan.
Yes.
Annabelle, excited about this,
I've
Julie?
never been so excited.
This is going to be great.
I love a good.
This is a midnight release movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
folks.
yeah.
You have to
Go see this
yeah.
at 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock
Great.
or whenever they release it that Thursday. Go see this film.
Is there anything scarier than a killer doll?
There
right?
really can't be. Well, it could be Old Man Ant.
That's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
He's probably a little bit scared.
Well, he was scared of Chucky back in the day.
I feel like you were scared of Chucky back in the day.
We actually had the My Buddy doll in the house.
Oh.
So
you did?
I got over that quick.
My buddy.
He was scared of Chucky.
Alex is from week 1. He's behind the camera
Yeah,
right
I mean,
now, but he
child's
was very
play.
scared of Chucky. That's Psycho.
I know, but still.
I
you
know
gotta
you were
have-
in the theaters for Psycho, but
It was that 1960.
very, very, very excited for Annabelle. But a film that I'm even more excited about because it's from one of my favorite directors, David Fincher, is Gone Girl with Ben Affleck. This
Oh
film
my
just
God.
looks like it's going to be phenomenal. I have a chance of going to see it Friday for at the New York Film Festival Society screening of it. I'm very, very excited for this. This
Yeah.
looks good.
Oh, you were
I'm not
going
a
to see
book
it
reader.
early? You seeing it early?
It
I might.
was.
And it's a
nice.
good
book
possibility.
was fantastic.
You read the
Movie,
book?
I read the book.
It's written by a woman, correct?
It's written by Gillian Flynn. It's
Okay.
amazing. Everyone should read it. The movie looks excellent. Ben Affleck is a perfect choice for casting.
Yeah.
And I couldn't think of anybody better to direct that movie.
Great. Yeah, I mean, Fincher just does so well with taking books and turning them into
incredible.
stories. So I'm
Yeah.
very, very excited about that. Also, if you're in the Halloween mood, you can look for Ouija, which comes out towards the end of October 24th. That looks pretty good. I'd go see that. Also, we have a film that Joe mentioned. You said this film might fly under the radar for award season. The Judge with Robert Downey
Oh, right.
Jr.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm forgetting his name right now.
Robert
not-
Duvall.
And Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Duvall. You feel like it might fly under the radar?
Yeah, I mean, it looks from the looks of the trailer, it kind of looks like they're not releasing too much information on the plot of the
Right.
story, and those kind of movies always catch you by surprise. So I mean, we'll see what happens.
So that's the Judge, and of course one that I think everybody's excited about, the new Brad Pitt film Fury.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great cast, looks phenomenal. Definitely going to be in award contention. So go check that out October 17th. All right, so that's our show for today, but we do have to go, as you know, every week I challenge Old Man Ant to go see a film before 1987. Ant, what did you see? What did you see this past week? What did you see? What was the film?
Warriors of the Wasteland.
Warriors.
What the hell is that?
Warriors of the Wasteland. Oh my goodness. What made you go see this movie?
Well,
I
love post-apocalyptic films, and I typed in on YouTube obscure late 70s films.
Okay.
And this one happened to come up, even though it was from 83 or 84.
The film is from 1983. It is directed by an Italian director called Enzo G. Castellari.
Read the synopsis.
The synopsis-
and then the log lines.
The synopsis is: two mercenaries help wandering caravans fight off an evil and aimless band of white-clad bikers after the nuclear holocaust. That is what you watched this past week.
The special effects are ahead of its game. I mean,
The tagline, by the way, can mankind survive without humanity?
That doesn't make any sense.
What makes you go watch this movie? Oh, by the way, if you want to know who's starring in this movie, this guy's name, and this is his exact name, Valentino Valentini.
Yeah, but it has
some Italian mother was like, "Hey, Valentino Valentini, sure." That's like naming,
Yeah, but it
that's like
has
calling Anthony.
It has a at the time an upcoming blaxploitation actor.
Yes, Fred Williamson
it's like Andrew
is in the
Andrews.
film. He was in
That's
From
what that
Dusk Till
is.
Dawn, Stars Guns. He was also in a film called Black Caesar. How did you get through this film? Did you get through this
Well,
film?
yeah, let's ask.
I actually only made it through the first 13 minutes.
Oh my! He didn't even watch the movie. He didn't even watch the movie.
Because his
Julie,
attention span isn't. It's he's old. It's like
Julie, when I gave him this challenge, I expected him to watch movies like Gone with the Wind.
Right,
you
yeah.
know,
No,
like,
listen.
Casablanca.
I will.
Imitation of
Imitation
Life.
of Life. These
Yeah.
older
Hold on,
films
hold
from
on,
like
hold
the
on.
40s and the 50s.
Yeah.
He's
Do-
watching these post-apocalyptic Z movies
For 13
that's got a
minutes.
guy in it that's named Valentino Valentini.
Do you want me to do a Douglas Sirk film for next week?
Yes, can
Yes.
you do something
Okay,
that,
and I'll
that
do-
might
all right.
appeal to the audience? Not Warriors of
Maybe
the
I'll watch
Wasteland?
like Pillow
50s
Talk.
melodrama.
Pillow talk.
Pillow Talk.
On IMDb, which is of course my favorite website, they give the alternate title in Italian. It's called I Nuovi Barbari.
Which means, if I'm correct, which means the new
Barbarian.
The
the
new
new
Barbarians.
The new
barbarians.
Barbarians. Yes,
I
yes.
think Joe,
Listen, the opening
Joe,
scene.
you know remakes like anybody. Do you think there's a shot in hell that this movie is going to be remade? in the next 20
If they do, it's gonna be me.
Warriors of the Wasteland.
Don't
go
check
see
it out.
Or you can if
It's
you
it's on
wanna go with Old
VHS.
Man.
It just came out on
It's on
VHS.
Just released on VHS.
And you have to play it simultaneously with the record player.
Absolutely. No, with an 8-track.
With an 8
With
track.
an
Okay.
shit.
Folks, if you have any suggestions, anything that we should do on the show to make it more fun, you could email us at mindovermovies1@gmail.com. Mindovermovies1@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook.com/mindovermovies, and you can find us now on Instagram on my new iPhone 6. You can find us on Instagram. Just search Mind Over Movies. So that's it. Next week, I don't even know what we're going to be doing next week.
have
It's a
no idea.
surprise. We could say it's a surprise for now, and we'll have announcements for the next week. So Joe, thank you very much for coming. Julie, thank you for stopping by.
Anytime.
Old Man Ann on the side, Warriors of the Wasteland, Valentino Valentini.
Thank you for making
That's
it.
it for week 2, folks. Thank you, and have a great week, and go see movies.